Welcome to the Metals Investment Forum. It's my great pleasure to have Western Exploration here. Welcome, Darcy.
Thank you, Chen. Pleasure to be here.
All right, great. I mean, you have one of the very upcoming, exciting company out there, have high grade in the middle of Nevada. Tell us what you have.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to. So we do have a very high grade project just north of Elko. It's called the Aura Project. And we were drilling last year on a known resource area. And just adjacent to that resource, we found some low sulfidation veins that are very high grade, up to 257 gram per ton gold and over 2.5 kilos of silver.
Wow, that's very high grade. So, and then what did you see? How much potential it has?
Well, the area that we're drilling in, where we got those high grades, it's an area that's at least 600 meters north-south, and about 350 meters east-west. So it's larger in footprint than the current resource. And there's about 17 drill holes already in there with high grades. So we know that the grades are there. We know that we've got a large footprint. So this year, or this summer, we're going to be drilling around the drilling from last year to start extending that into a resource. So we think we've got potential to double the current resource.
Wow. Then high grade.
High grade. It'll be much higher grade than the current resource. Yes.
Yeah, I've been to some great Nevada mines. One is called Sleeper. It's not far away from you, right? They said that the mine was so high grade, it works even like a $200 gold, something like that. It's a great mine, but now it's a $2,000 gold. And
yeah.
You have something maybe like that, maybe even better.
Well, I think that's one of our analogies is Sleeper and Midas, which was another high-grade mine in the 90s. And the thing about our Gravel Creek discovery where we have the high grades, it's in the same rocks of the same age with the same geochemistry as both Sleeper and Midas. So we know that these epithermal deposits cluster like that. So we think we found the next major high-grade epithermal deposit in that district.
Wow, excellent. So tell us how deep it is, or what's potential. I know it's a resource, it's a forward-looking statement. What kind of size of resource are you hoping to get?
Yeah, so currently the resource is about 800,000 ounces. It is about 350 meters below surface to a maximum depth of about 700 meters below surface. That's why it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It was an outcropping. But we think right now with that 800,000 ounce resource and what we see in this high grade area, we could probably get, optimistically to 2 million, maybe a little bit more. Again, we need to do that drilling and we need those things to connect together, but we're optimistic that we can see that kind of potential.
Do you see that you can have a definite answer this year?
Probably not this year, Chen. We're going to need to do more drilling, but I think we will do enough drilling to get part of that into a resource by early 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with good results, we probably want to extend our drilling this year right through to the end of the year, which would get a lot of that area drilled out and into resource.
Wow, excellent. So hopefully within a year or so, you hit your target.
Yeah, no, that's definitely our goal. And I would just add, Chen, that there is an old mine there that was mined by Homestake, which is called Wood Gulch.
Mm-hmm.
We think Wood Gulch is very similar to the Gravel Creek high-grade deposit. We've seen high grades in the old drill holes at Wood Gulch. So, in the short term, we'll be proposing some work there as well that might be a parallel system to Gravel Creek. So there's a number of areas where we can grow the resource, not just at the current area where we're drilling.
Excellent. Hopefully you will double whatever your resource it is. Huh?
Yeah, well,
that will be make a world-class deposit together.
And we've seen this happen before in previous work we've done. I was previously with FMC Gold and Meridian, which discovered the El Peñon deposit in Chile. And we saw that go from a resource of 600,000 ounces in low sulfidation epithermal veins in 1997 when we did the pre-feasibility study. And with continued discoveries, it's gone up to over 7 million ounces mined and contained resource. So these things often occur in a number of parallel or distinct veins. And it's only by doing additional drilling do you find how many veins you have and what the full extent of the mineralization is. So knowing that we've got Wood Gulch, now we've got Gravel Creek, I think we can probably say that we're onto an area where we can expect to discover additional veins.
Oh, excellent. And then my understanding, those are the high grade but refractory veins, right? So, and then you seem to be very close to a roaster.
Yeah, that's correct. They are refractory to cyanide. We did that metallurgical test work, and most of the gold and silver are associated with the sulfides, which are pyrite and marcasite. But we've got a metallurgical process through flotation where we can recover 97% of the gold and about 95% of the silver to a concentrate, and it has an 8% weight pull. And what that means is for 1,000 tons of raw ore, you get 80 tons of concentrate or sulfide concentrate. And that concentrate had an average grade of about 4 ounce per ton gold and 50 ounce per ton silver. So in Nevada, there's a number of autoclaves and roasters. And the nearest one is at Jarrett Canyon, which is only 30 kilometers to the south. So we think that even though we produce a concentrate, there'll definitely be a market within Nevada for it.
Wow, excellent, excellent. So tell us what you are planning on drilling. You seem to also have another project near surface that's oxide.
Yeah.
That can be a quick start for you.
Well, I think it can be a quicker start. Certainly, we'd need to do the full permitting, but what we've done in the last year is de-risk that project. It's the Dobie George oxide deposit. It occurs right at surface. It's about 8 kilometers to the west of the Gravel Creek discovery we've been talking about. But it's about 500,000 ounces at just over a gram per ton oxide. We just finished the metallurgical work in January of this year. It shows 72 to 75% recovery with a 1/2 inch crust size. It's really low reagent consumption, less than 0.5 kilo per ton of cyanide, but also it doesn't require any agglomeration. So given the fact it's right at surface, it's got grades over a gram per ton and very low reagent consumption, it should be a very attractive operation. So what we're doing now is getting all that work ready to go into a PEA and ultimately a pre-feasibility study shortly thereafter so that we can then start the permitting process for that asset.
Oh, okay. So you can get started on that permit. So what do you see eventually? You see one major take this project, or maybe someone take the heap leach and then you go on and continue to explore.
Yeah, I don't know that we've thought that through, but certainly all those options are on the table. We'd have to do what's in the best interest for our shareholders. And we've had people inquire about, processes like that of acquiring the oxide deposit. I think at this time, we really don't know the full potential of any of these resources. And I feel that we need to understand that better before we do a deal to somebody else.
Excellent. Okay, great. Sounds like a very, very interesting idea, very interesting, project. So tell us what the catalyst coming this year for a new investor coming new to your story.
Yeah, well, thanks for that opportunity to explain that. And we'll be starting drilling here towards the end of June, early July. Our geologists are mobilizing to site right now to get everything ready. We're completing additional metallurgical work at Gravel Creek based on the high-grade results from last year. So we'll have that coming this year. And then we're going to start doing the work for the updated resource on Dobie George and the PEA so that the new drilling at Gravel Creek plus that metallurgical work at Dobie George should all be reported into a new technical report in the first quarter of 2025. So between now and then, I would look for additional drill results between August and November, look for metallurgical results, and then ultimately look for a resource update and technical report towards the end of March of 2025.
Wow, excellent. Looks like you have quite a few catalysts coming in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very exciting time. Thank you, Darcy, for coming on to
Chen, it's always a pleasure.
So hopefully to hear good news from you next time.
I hope so. Thanks for having me. Pleasure, Chen.